welcome to the PlayVS MASSP Championship. My name is Bass on the Pass, and join alongside me here today is the lovely Rome DMV. And Rome, we're going up north to Michigan to crown a champion for this high school division. It is Dakota High School versus Anchor Bay High School in the last two teams of 62 who have competed. I'm excited to get into this one. How are you doing on this fine Saturday, my friend?
I am doing absolutely incredible. We've got so many talented teams that showed up trying to make it into this tournament. Like you said, only 16 were able to make it, and now only 2 remain. We got ourselves an amazing championship, and guess what? Not only is it going to be a championship, it's a championship between the 1 and 2 seeds coming into this tournament, and we all know how good a grand finals is when you get the 1 and 2 at the very end.
Oh, absolutely. The 1 and 2 seeds here are going to be the Dakota Steuben and Anchor Bay A1. Dakota come in the number 1, Anchor come in the number 2. But as you can see, they had to battle through a plethora of different rounds to get here. 4 in total, a best of 16 to try and get here. And well, speaking of how they got here, best of 5s the whole way, but now we arrive at a best of 7 to finish this one off. And Rome, that's going to make this all the spicier.
Oh yeah, big time. You look at the side of Dakota and they are an extremely talented squad. There is a reason that they are the number 1 seed, and they have faced off against this Anchor Bay squad before. They faced them in November 4th, and hey, listen, when they faced them, they beat them 3-1, but I will say Anchor Bay, they are the only team to take a game off of this Dakota High School squad in the last 3 months since October started. So if anyone is going to be able to take down this Dakota High School, it's going to be this Anchor Bay squad for sure.
Oh, 100%. And like you said, they have not given up a loss in multiple months, meaning they had a perfect run through playoffs so far here. They are 12-0 in 4 rounds of playoffs, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Anchor Bay has been slouching behind either. At 12-3, they've had a pretty good run as well. They've been able to take down a plethora of opponents, but something interesting you pointed out before, Rome, is that neither of these teams actually had to go through the 3 or 4 seed to get here.
Yeah, very interesting situation. It doesn't really happen a lot, but the 3 and 4 seed normally destined to face off against the 1 and 2 eventually in the bracket. They actually got knocked out in the quarterfinals before they were able to face off against one of the top 2 teams. So neither one of these teams has faced a top 4 seed coming into today. So it's going to be an extremely difficult challenge for both of these teams because, listen, this is easily going to be the stiffest competition that they face so far for both of them.
Oh, 100%. And well, if you're wondering what the competition is here, let's give you a quick rundown of all the players playing here today. For the Dakota Steuben, it's going to be Big Boy Byra. It's going to be Sif and Kozga. We'll eventually get that name down eventually, but it might take us a little bit of time. The good thing is that I think we should be able to pronounce the other team as well here. Anchor Bay A1 are going to be Win Today, Ducky, Reworks, and 2 Nasty. The 6 players that are going to be hitting this pitch here today, Rome, are all going to be very prepared. The question is who's going to be prepared here in this game number 1. Like we usually say, game 1 is a bit of a warm-up period. It takes a little bit of time for teams to get into the series, but it can also be pretty influential if you can really start with the right foot forward.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the big thing that I'm looking for, Dakota. What is their game plan? Because, we've seen so many times it almost feels like the top seed, the team that comes out victorious in these championships scenarios, is always the team that focuses on that defense and lets their offense come to them. It seems like a lot of times the teams that focus around the offensive end, it ends up coming back to bite them once they get to this level. So I really want to see if they're going to stick with that strategy that we've seen before, where they just keep that shell defense, let the breakout offensive plays come to you naturally. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to get too cute, and see if that's going to work out for you, or if they're just going to be an offensive juggernaut that can't be stopped.
We're going to have to find out here. I do agree with you, though. I think defense is going to win a championship here, and consistency is king. We mention it a lot because it truly is not the teams that are able to peak on the best days or not the teams that are going to be able to sort of fluctuate. It's the ones that ride that middle ground the best, and I don't really know who that's going to be here today. But one advice I would give to both of the teams, we've seen this a lot once the championship rolls around, is teams try to get, like you said, a little bit too cute, a little bit too fancy. They go for some more intricate shots, but the fundamentals are a fundamental for a reason. You're going to have to be playing this one pretty safe here because, again, if you get a little bit too cute, all of a sudden that's a counterattack that goes straight into your net.
Yeah, exactly. Counterattacks are a quick way to get those momentum swings. We always talk about how important momentum is in a game like Rocket League. Even just a few days ago when we were watching Alaska Championships, guess what happened? It was the same situation. A team went up 3-0, and then just like that, a team was able to get their first goal and start the comeback, and we almost had a game 7. It was incredible. That momentum can be so important, not only starting out, but keeping that momentum throughout to keep that consistency, as you said, and come out victorious.
Especially when you have teams that are running into this one with the utmost confidence. Again, like we mentioned, the crazy thing about Dakota coming into this one is that they have not lost a game in playoffs so far. So you have to imagine that they come into the championship with insane confidence here, and for a good reason. So if you want to try and dispel that confidence, try and get the team a little bit more nervous than they probably are right this moment, you're going to need to come out with a bang. So let's see, can we get a bang here in game number 1? I have got to hope so, but I'm honestly just hoping for a good back and forth here, Rome. Again, our goal in a best of 7 is always to see that game 7 and to see an incredible game of Rocket League.
Oh yeah, big time, and I cannot wait for that. And hey, listen, I don't want you guys to go anywhere. We are going to be getting into the action really quickly after this short break, so don't go anywhere. State championship for Michigan coming right up.
set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. You can find out, you on timeout. You been dealing with the devil, where you sign at? Yeah, oh Lord, you getting financed. Me, I'm talking ownership, baby, that's where my mind at. Try that, yeah, me, I threw my money down. And you know that it's good, we can skip the run around. And I don't need no yes, man, I'm all the way down. Yo, and I am not for sale, that's in case you couldn't tell, but you're no better now. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. Real life better than the internet. Keep what you been selling, I ain't into that. We are doing business, this is simple math. I invest, you know I get it back, you believe that? Yeah. They asking what the fame like, tell them hang tight. Let me holler when the pay right. Put that on my damn life, you know I'm the man, right? Show them what the plan like, but y'all look slow, don't understand right, yeah. So tell me how you feel, baby, cause I've been working all the way up to a meal, baby. Yeah, man of the year, how I feel lately. You know the deal, baby, you know the drill, yeah, I'm on my way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the PlayVS MASSP Championship. Once again, my name is Bash from the Passenger. Alongside me, Rome DMV. And Rome, we are back here. A little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're just about ready for this very first matchup. Before we hop on into it, I want to hear your thoughts. We've got this best of 7 coming up, but we haven't really given our audience an opinion of who we think is walking away with this championship. Rome, your prediction before we head on into this matchup.
Listen, let's be honest. I could come in here today and give you the easy answer and say this Dakota squad, they haven't dropped a map coming into this final series. It would be easy to say Dakota. Let's be honest. I'm gonna go with Anchor Bay on this one. I think that they're gonna be able to pull it off. They were able to take a game off of them in November. They just got to be able to build off of that momentum. And hey, listen, I'm all for upsets. I'm all for the incredible plays, the incredible upsets happening. And I think today it can happen. This Anchor Bay squad, they've shown that they have the capability of taking one game off. And if you can take one, you can build that momentum and get multiple games. So hey, listen, I'm gonna roll with the underdog, Anchor Bay. Show me what you got. I'm rolling with you today.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, and as much as I do want to say that Anchor Bay High School are going to come out on top, I think today A1's going to be A2, unfortunately. They're a great squad, but the reality is here is that Dakota High School, the Stewmen, have done a great job throughout the entirety of playoffs. And while I do agree with you, I think Anchor Bay are going to take a plethora of games off here. I worry if they're going to be able to finish out the job. Again, last time they take a game away, but they're not able to close out the series. So it's one of these things where I feel like Dakota just come in here with a little bit of extra confidence to going to be able to carry them through a full 7 games if we get there. Now, that being said, if Anchor Bay can come out the gate swinging and find themselves a decent hook that connects, all of a sudden, they're going to finally be able to find themselves a decent amount of momentum against this Dakota High School squad. So, I'm going to go with Dakota High School here. I think they have just a little bit of an edge going into this final, but again, either way, I'm just looking for a good series here, Rome.
Oh yeah, exactly, and I'm sure that these two teams are definitely going to be giving us that. And we know that this squad in Anchor Bay, a lot of their games in this playoff series has went multiple games past that 3-0. You know, it hasn't been straight shutouts, so they've been giving us good series so far throughout this tournament. We just got to see how this grand finals is going to go at 12-3. So they've been dropping a game here or there, so they've had these learning experiences, and that is one thing about taking some losses throughout the playoffs is that you learn how to deal with it and learn how to adjust and how to improve. When you go 12-0 in game count, you don't really know what you can improve on. You might be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, we're good to go coming in this game. We don't need to work on our offense. We don't need to work on our defensive structure. We don't really need to work on anything. But hey, if you're 12-3, you're coming in understanding what you need to work on to improve and how you can beat a team that you've already taken a game off of before you understood even more mistakes that you could correct. So that's why I think that Anchor Bay right now, they are in a great position to shock the world, shock the state of Michigan, and take home the state championship today in Rocket League.
I would agree with you on that. I think that shock factor really is what's going to be their biggest advantage going into this grand final here. Again, when you do, like you say, have a bracket where you're not really feeling the heat, all of a sudden you're going through round 1 in a sweep, round 2 in a sweep, round 3 in a sweep, round 4 in a sweep, and then you arrive here and you kind of go, all right, where's the competition? Where's that resistance that we were expecting? And when you don't get that resistance, it doesn't really make you battle tough. And so I gotta hope that they're not necessarily getting a little bit too lulled into a false sense of security here, because that can't happen. I've seen that happen at every level of Rocket League. But again, the Dakota Stewmen do seem like a very well-prepared team, so hopefully they're not falling into that little bit of complacency here. Hopefully they're recognizing that they have to be on their A game if they want to try and take down Anchor Bay A1, but I mean, that's kind of fair. If Anchor Bay do have that battle-tested sort of resiliency and they've had those ups and downs, it may make them a little bit more prepared for this team today. But again, you never really know. Game 1, in my opinion here, Rome, is going to be a very telling ball game.
Oh yeah, big time. You know, it's going to be a real temperature check for this Dakota squad mainly, and how they are planning on coming in as the #1 seed, because hey, listen, all eyes are on them right now. This is essentially their tournament to lose, and I think that they know that. Yes, the Anchor Bay squad can come in and have a good chance of shocking the world and taking this squad out, but listen, it's a tall task, because this Dakota squad, they have shown plenty of times throughout the past few months why they are elite, why they are the #1 seed, and why they feel like the championship is theirs for the taking.
Well, you've heard our predictions, folks. Now it's time for you guys to get some predictions in. We're going to go to a quick break, but while we are gone, I want to hear your thoughts. Talk amongst yourselves. Try and figure out who you think might be walking away with the championship, because when we return, it'll be game 1 of this best of 7. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. You can find out, you on timeout. You been dealing with the devil, where you sign at? Yeah, oh Lord, you getting financed. Me, I'm talking ownership, baby, that's where my mind at. Try that, yeah, me, I threw my money down. And you know that it's good, we can skip the run around. And I don't need no yes, man, I'm all the way down. Yo, and I am not for sale, that's in case you couldn't tell, but you're no better now. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. Real life better than the internet. Keep what you been selling, I ain't into that. We are doing business, this is simple math. I invest, you know I get it back, you believe that? Yeah. They asking what the fame like, tell them hang tight. Let me holler when the pay right. Put that on my damn life, you know I'm the man, right? Show them what the plan like, but y'all look slow, don't understand, right? Yeah. So tell me how you feel, baby. Cause I've been working all the way up to a meal, baby. Yeah. Man of the year, how I feel lately. You know the deal, baby. You know the drill, yeah, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Play vs. MASSP Championship. Once again, my name is Basslin Pass, and joining alongside me here today is the lovely Rome DMV. And Rome, we are back again, my friend, trying to get into game number 1 of this best of 7. We've got 2 teams here from Michigan battling it out for this championship. It is Dakota High School versus Anchor Bay High School, and hopefully we're just about ready to get into game number 1 here.
Yeah, I believe we are just on the cusp of that right now. It's been a long time waiting, but I'm extremely excited. Just want to make sure that these players are completely good to go, that everything's good with their setups, everything's good with whatever input they're using, because guess what? Today is going to be an absolute show. We got ourselves a state championship for Michigan, and I know there's a lot of people at home, a lot of people watching right now, just waiting, itching to find out who is going to be taking home this championship today.
And I think you and I are included in that one at this point here. Both of us very much understand what is at stake, and both of us are excited to see what these two teams have got. Again, if you guys are not familiar with the two squads coming in here, they are the number 1 and 2 seeds, respectively. Dakota High School coming into this one, number 1. Anchor Bay coming into this one, number 2. But both of them have had pretty great success going into playoffs here. 12-0. The Stewmen do not take a loss throughout their entire playoff run. Meanwhile, Anchor Bay only taking 3 games away from themselves at this point. So, to put it simply, the two teams have been pretty dominant throughout this playoff run, but the question is, Rome, is who's going to be able to carry that dominance into this best of 7?
Yeah, exactly. You know, you look at the bracket as a whole, and it doesn't really look like they faced all that stiff a competition coming into this. Like we said, the 3 and 4 seed got knocked out a bit early, so didn't get to face either one of these teams. So guess what? This team had easy sailing. Essentially, both teams had easy sailing through the playoffs, if you will. Both dominated their opponents all the way through. So now we're going to be able to see these teams face off yet again. We know that Dakota were able to take out Anchor Bay 3-1 in game count in their best of 5 that they had back in November 4th, I believe the date was. So, you know, looking at that one, is this Anchor Bay squad going to be able to build off that momentum, as they are the only team to take a game off of Dakota in the last 3 months, or is Dakota going to be coming out on top yet again?
I would say for Anchor Bay at this point, it's going to be more important for them here in game number 1. Like you said, they have to try and get some games off this squad. So let's see, can they do that? Game number 1 of this best of 7 finally underway. We've got the two squads battling it out. Dakota in the orange, Anchor Bay in the white, and I'm ready to get into this one. Rome, how you doing here as we get into game number 1?
I'm doing absolutely incredible. Kazga looks like he's doing great too, trying to set up the double tap. It was open for him if he was going to be able to connect. And you can see already the counterattacks coming in very, very quickly. You can see both squads setting up their defense, but Kazga across gold. What in the world? My goodness, all the way across the field. Beautiful play coming out of him.
That's a boomer of a shot, and you can understand why Win today wasn't exactly expecting that one to go on target. You can see they probably going to try to pre-jump it, but I think they recognized he was on target a bit too late, and as a result, Dakota going to take the first lead of this ball game. 30 seconds into this one, they are up 1-0, but that could be erased in the blink of an eye, forced onto their own half and having to survive for now.
Yeah, and there, Anchor Bay, they were trying to set up a nice play, a nice cross, almost able to set something up. You can see right now the offenses are really flexing their muscles already, even though we're only 45 seconds into it. There's been about 4 nice setups for good chances on goal. So, hey, you can see Big Boy Byra, they're almost able to get another one. Man, oh man, these are some close scenarios for both squads.
Now a chance here for DHS to go up by 2. Can't quite do so, but they're going to start to build an offense out at midfield here. Ducky going to try and sneak this one past the defense. Not quite able to do so. Back and forth we go. Both teams getting decent chances on net, but so far, neither team finding a lot of offensive success outside of that first 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, we always talk about the first 30 seconds, you get those jitters out. Sometimes you see an early goal. No, Big Boy Byra not able to complete it. Neither is Kazga. My goodness, so unfortunate. Man, oh man, that was such a close situation for Dakota. Yet again, they're doing a great job of keeping this offensive pressure on this Anchor Bay squad already.
So far here, the pressure really has been on both sides, end to end here with the action. With only 2 minutes gone, I have a feeling it's going to start to get a little bit more precise as we get through this series here. A couple of double commits and weird challenges have left some gaps here and there, but only one of the two teams has been able to take advantage of that so far. That is Dakota High School. The Stewmen have this 1-0 lead and held on to it for about a minute and a half. Can they hold on to it for another minute longer? Here comes the counterattack, and now the pressure is on. Anchor Bay looking for their first goal of this ball game.
Yeah, and I gotta say the one thing that I want to point out, you said it. We've seen so many different states competing for their state championship, and already I must say, this Michigan matchup is absolutely incredible. The confidence coming out of so many of these players to make some of these plays that they're going for is just absolutely astounding already. So I can see what you were talking about, saying how much talent is in this Michigan State. And as I say that, Anchor Bay gonna be answering back with a goal of their own, tying it up 1-1.
1-1 here as we get into this one and get down to the last couple minutes of this ball game. This is what we're hoping for. Back half has arrived, and as a result, that warm-up period is out the door. Both teams recognizing what is at stake and might be recognizing a little bit of a technical difficulty here. No one going for the kickoff out the gate, so I think we're going to head back to our lovely faces here. Well, hello once again. And Rome, game number 1 so far, though, a pretty telling series here. It does sort of seem like both teams are pretty evenly matched.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fast-paced, a lot of amazing plays. It was really, really close there for a long time, about a 2-minute stretch where it was just going back and forth. It really felt like anyone could score, and we saw Anchor Bay being able to come out on top of the madness, tying it back up 1-1. So hey, props to Anchor Bay for being able to stay composed and fight back and all that madness that was going on there. I gotta say, being able to be composed and try to have some organization within all that chaos is extremely difficult, but these teams right now are doing a great job of it.
That's the big thing, is being able to read through the chaos in game number 1. Game number 1 is almost always going to be a chaotic game. Pretty much every single time, it's usually a little bit of chaos on both sides, some sloppy play here and there, but it's which team can take advantage of that sloppiness. And right now, it seems like both of them are doing so, but it also kind of seems like the sloppiness is kind of going out the door. We're slowly getting further away from that. The two teams are starting to find a decent amount of momentum and precise play. So let's see, can they continue with that precise play here? Despite the little bit of a break that we're taking for some technical difficulties, I have to imagine the back half of this first game, Rome, is going to look a lot more precise than the first.
Oh yeah, 110%. I'm expecting a lot more defense right there in those first 3 minutes. There was a lot of offensive pressure, double commits, sometimes even triple commits. Players just saying, you know what, we're putting it in right now. And guess what? The defense was holding strong on both sides for quite a bit there. So hey, props to both teams, because I got to be honest, at this pace right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we would have seen 4 or 5 goals by now, because these teams right now are absolutely trying to score every single way possible. And that's what you love to see, is these teams coming out firing, aggressive, and confident in this grand final.
100%, but the one thing that we're not quite seeing yet, Rome, are shots on target. It feels like we're getting a lot of good offensive pressure, but we're not really seeing shots that fly on target and force the defense to make a save. And it may sound a little bit silly to bring it up, but it really can be the separating factor for a lot of these squads, is being able to approach that final third, but not being able to hit the back of the net. Try as you like, good offense doesn't really mean much if it doesn't result in a goal. So we need to see one of these two teams just sort of take that little level up here, turn the volume knob up to 11, and start to get those shots sinking into the back of the net. Rome, the first team to start recognizing that and continue extended pressure on offense, I think is going to be the one to take the series.
Oh yes, 110%. And hey, listen, it's 1-1. We're 3 minutes into game 1. We know that it's going to be an amazing matchup. So listen, you guys don't go anywhere. We will be right back and get right back into the action after this short break of these two top teams in Michigan. Be right back.
set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. Y'all can find out, you on timeout. You been dealing with the devil, where you sign at? Yeah, oh Lord, you getting financed. Me, I'm talking ownership, baby, that's where my mind at. Try that, yeah, me, I threw my money down. And you know that it's good, we can skip the run around. And I don't need no yes, man, I'm all the way down. Yo, and I am not for sale, that's in case you couldn't tell, but y'all know better now. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. Real life better than the internet. Keep what you been selling, I ain't into that. We are doing business, this is simple math. I invest, you know I get it back, you believe that? Yeah. They asking what the fame like, tell them hang tight. Let me holler when the pay right, put that on my damn life. You know I'm the man, right? Show them what the plan like, but y'all look slow, don't understand right, yeah. So tell me how you feel, baby, cause I've been working all the way up to a meal, baby. Yeah, man of the year, how I feel lately. You know the deal, baby, you know the drill, yeah, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah, man, I'm on my way, yeah, and I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way, said I'm on my way, yeah, I'm on my way, yeah, I'm on my way, yeah, and I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way, said I'm on my way. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the MASSP Rocket League Championship. Once again, my name is Bastin Pass, joined by Rome DMV. And Rome, we are back here, hopefully ready to get into game number one. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I believe they are all sorted now, so we should be able to get into game number one of this best of 7. And if game number one is anything like the game number one we had before we went to break, this should be a pretty close series.
Oh yes, big time. It was all even, all tied up 1-1. Now we're going to be resetting since it was all tied, and let's see what these teams are going to be able to do in the full 5 minutes, as already we're going to be starting it off with a goal opportunity coming out of Ducky. They're already keeping that pressure on pace as last game.
They're keeping the pressure up. We knew this was going to be a back-and-forth ball game, but we don't know who's coming out on top. Once again, the two teams competing here are Dakota High School versus Anchor Bay High School, and both squads have had pretty great runs up until now. But like we mentioned, last time these two teams squared off, Rome, it was Dakota who came out on top and did so in pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, in a 3-1, but the good news is that Anchor Bay, the only squad to be able to take a game off of them, so we know that they're definitely capable of matching up with this squad, and that is the one thing. If you're the side of Dakota and you know that only one team really stands a chance against you, in your opinion, you're going to be coming into this match with a little bit of nerves, because you know the possibility that this team can bring to the table. And we got a nice setup coming out of Big Boy Byra. Is he going to be able to make it happen? No! Oh my goodness, the setups right now are absolutely impeccable.
Imagine if Anchor Bay had been able to start this one off with a bang, give themselves an early lead here. Unfortunately, they'll have to go back to the drawing board and actually back to some defense for right now. Push into their own half are the Dakota squad, as Anchor Bay do look for that goal. But a quick transition, like we were expecting from Dakota, has them pressed. But maybe not all too pressed. Patient midfield line from Sip out here is probably going to make this kind of difficult to move into their opponent's half. And again, back and forth, Rome. Kind of expected for game number one, but not really sure what's going to break this open. Apparently, it is that. Win today, gonna get the first goal here for Anchor Bay.
Big play right there. Beautiful teamwork and beautiful communication. You can see the beautiful wow, as that's going to be a wow. We're beating this #1 seed right now. Beautiful plays coming out of Anchor Bay to take a commanding lead. And who knows, this might be the first time that Dakota have found themselves at a deficit at any point during these playoffs.
could be, but we're going to have to find out here. With 3 minutes remaining, you never really know what can happen during the back half of this ball game here. And so far, at a 1-0, you're wondering if this one's going to change up anytime soon here. 2 minutes of play with multiple chances on both sides. I'm wondering if we're going to see something change here and give a little bit extra momentum. Again, the stalemate we're seeing here in game one, not that surprising. The more surprising part is who's come out on top. Anchor Bay with that first goal, and they've held on to it for quite some time now.
Oh, yes, at the top. I understand it does currently say Dakota High School's up 1-0, but that is Anchor Bay right now that's up 1-0, as Win Today was able to get that first goal, and he's coming out and essentially saying, look, my name's Win Today, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. You don't stand a chance, and they're going to be locking up this defense, trying to really put that anchor down and not let this Dakota High School squad get any offensive momentum whatsoever. I like the style coming out of this Anchor Bay squad.
I like this so far. They're putting on a lot of pressure, and they're trying to find themselves a second goal here. Not quite able to do so, and finally we see DHS get themselves a decent chance on offense, but it's going to be shut down rather quickly. Kozga doesn't want to commit out at midfield here, and we're seeing a bit of passive play here out of this DHS squad. I'm a bit surprised, Rome. Usually with a back-and-forth gameplay like this, you eventually see teams start to take the risks, but as we get into the last 2 minutes of this game, this passiveness continues to be a problem here for DHS.
Yes, 110%. And, you know, we're on right now with Sif for the Dakota side. Woo! And Kozga, he's going to be able to tie things up as Dakota going to be able to find their first goal. And, hey, listen, a little bit of a flip-flop of what we saw originally. First, it was Dakota able to get the early score in the game one before the reset with Anchor Bay answering. Now we got Anchor Bay going to be getting the first goal with Dakota answering. So, hey, a beautiful situation as essentially we're in the same situation as we were before the reset. There's 2 minutes left. We got a tie 1-1 game. This one's going to be coming down to the wire.
Indeed it is. 90 seconds remain here, and both teams going back and forth. A tied ball game, and one goal is all that separates the two of them. Will we get it before the end of regulation? Only time will tell, but here we go once again. Anchor Bay eyeing up a goal to try and separate the two squads, but blocked out of midfield by Sif. Now an offense will build here for DHS, but can they get a shot? They've got something floating out of midfield here, and Cause is going to get a touch, but can they find anything that goes on target? Not quite able to. Ducky going to keep this one out for now, but as we get into the last minute, it's crunch time here for both squads. DHS, like we said, getting a lot of good offensive pressure, but it does not mean anything if you can't put shots on target, and that they can, but Ducky can get in the way.
Man, oh man, that was an epic save for sure out of Ducky. The force that one was coming with, man. Ducky barely able to stop that though. Is this going to be a beautiful opportunity? Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it in front of the net. My goodness, Too Nasty trying to get a play off of the defense. That is not going to be the case. Man, oh man, is he going to be able to set something up? No, only 30 seconds remaining now. You can see the offensive pressure is going to be coming out, and now this Dakota squad going to be flipping it on their heads as Sif going to be able to come in and take the lead. Dakota High School, they are going to be reclaiming this lead as they're saying, we're the #1 seed. We're not going to be going away in the night without a fight. Gotta love the resilience out of this squad.
That is beautiful from Sif as well, recognizing he's got time and space out in center, so he baits in the defender, then takes it high. 2-1 here in favor of the Dakota High School squad. The question is whether or not they're going to be able to keep on battling this one out to find a victory. 12 seconds left. This could get equalized if we see a solid shot here from Anchor Bay, and they're trying their best, putting on this pressure, but so far no success. Ducky going to put this one out to the corner. Maybe a touch can be found from one of his teammates. Not quite able to do so. Too Nasty lurking in the wings, and so is Win, but neither one of them able to get a touch, and as a result, Dakota gonna hold on and take game #1.
Man, oh man, and what a clutch performance out of them to be able to score with less than 30 seconds remaining and to be able to come back from being down 0-1. Beautiful plays coming around from all of these players, man. 3 beautiful goals happened in this game, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. We saw the offensive pressure coming out, the offensive plays, the communication from both squads, and we saw the defensive impressiveness from both of these teams too. So I'm going to be expecting an extremely close, super back and forth matchup the rest of the series, just like how that game 1 went.
Oh, 100%. I'm expecting this one to keep it close, considering the fact that it was a separating goal with only under half a minute left there. You have to imagine the two teams are going to continue to battle like this the entire way through. But the big question here is do Dakota have now enough momentum to run away with this series? I'd be surprised. I don't necessarily expect it, but only time will tell. We get into game number 2 here, and again, Dakota do have the lead. But considering how well Anchor Bay played in game number 1, I would be very surprised if they walk away from this without getting a win.
Oh yeah, we always talk about momentum, and right now it's easy to say that the momentum is on Dakota's side, but as you said, to be honest, Ducky rework coming in and letting you know that momentum is not there. I was just saying, Anchor Bay played extremely well in that game, and for them to be losing it 2-1, that does not mean that Dakota just all of a sudden has the momentum. No, Anchor Bay was answering back, and they're letting them know that they're here to play. So, Dakota, they do not have as much momentum as you would think from being up 1-0. And as you can see right there, Anchor Bay, they're still feeling good. Coming into this game, too! Oh my goodness, Sif almost able to make an incredible answer back for Dakota.
Oh my, the aggression out the gates here. Apparently, that's all that was necessary for Anchor Bay to get one going, or excuse me, for Dakota High School to get one going here. A minute into this, they are pressing, looking for an extra goal to try and equalize. That's a difficult task, but if anyone's going to do it, it could be Sif. Shot on target denied by Ducky, but again, the offense building here in Dakota High School looking to equalize.
Yeah, and you see right now, Ducky rework, trying to make these plays happen. Here we go, another setup. Is it going to be clean? Yes! Sif gonna be able to do the dirty work, putting it in the back of the net for Dakota. Beautiful play coming out of them. Great teamwork.
Great teamwork and a heck of a way to get yourself back on the board here and tie this one up. Sif continuing to be that offensive presence here for Dakota High School, and Kaz G continuing to dish this out to that player. Excuse me, Kazga, as it is pronounced. These two players have kind of been in tandem this entire time, scoring the goals in game number 1, scoring the goals here in game number 2. Question is can they be a deciding factor, though? They're looking for their second win in a row. And again, Rome, we talk about this a lot. Considering how big momentum is just from getting a single game, going up 2-0, not only do you have momentum, but you have a little bit of a safety net. You can give up a game, and it really won't be all that bothersome.
Oh yeah, won't be bothersome, but hey, if you are the side of Dakota, you don't want to give up any games. You want a clean sweep, a clean run. And listen, all these players are going to be stopping, so, not exactly sure what happened. We know that the last time this happened, somebody had a little bit too big of feet. Somebody walked in with the size 17s, accidentally tripped over the cord, These players are playing at LAN, in person. So, it is extremely important that everything goes down perfectly. So, you're probably going to be getting a reset of this game as it was 1-1, just like the last time that we reset. Wouldn't be too surprised at that. And I gotta say right now, this game too is going exactly how I thought, just a straight up back and forth, both teams showing that this is a very, very even series.
Oh, 100%. And that's kind of what we expected going into this one. Again, the only team that really did give a run for their money against Dakota High School was this Anchor Bay High School squad. So it's not surprising to see this close of a ball game. But the good thing is, before we get to the technical issues, we were able to get a full game in there. So we did see a little bit of stuff to talk about here in Rome. Game number 1, going 2-1 in favor of Dakota High School. And again, it wasn't really like Dakota took that one by storm. It was, they got lucky. They got a late goal there as the defense started to get a little bit shaky because the nerves started to build there. So again, kind of a game 1 expected match. It's kind of how you really think a game 1's going to end up, is someone makes just the littlest mistake and one of the two teams is a little bit more advantageous and prepared. This time it was Dakota High School. The question is whether or not Anchor Bay can do that in game 2, because again, they were the first to score in game number 2, Rome.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the big thing. When you're able to get out there and get that early lead, just like as we saw in game 1, Anchor Bay, they scored first, and then Dakota came back, scored 2 back-to-back unanswered goals. I said Anchor Bay, once they're up 1-0, they just got to anchor down on that defense, be that anchor, be their namesake, but they just couldn't get it done. They had to hold them for a couple more minutes, and it just did not happen. It was extremely unfortunate, so I'm going to be looking to see if they're going to be able to keep that defensive pressure up and not let this Dakota squad build any offensive momentum, because listen, if you don't score, we can't lose. It's as simple as that. And right now, Dakota, it looks like they're able to find the cracks in this Anchor squad. So I'm just excited to see if the Anchor squad's going to be able to step up their defense to be able to bring this series back.
I really do think that defense is going to be key here. Again, we've been talking about it all day, but consistency really remains king in Rocket League. The ability to not have those cracks in the defense and just play it a little bit safely. It's what gave Dakota the win in game number 1. The question is going to give the win in game number 2? Only time will tell, and well, it's a little bit of time in between now. We're going to take another quick break here, make sure that we've got everything settled for this series. But when we return, game number 2 of this best of 7 between Dakota High School and Anchor Bay, you are not going to want to miss it. We'll be back in just a couple of moments.
set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. Y'all can find out, you on timeout. You been dealing with the devil, where you sign at? Yeah, oh Lord, you getting financed. Me, I'm talking ownership, baby, that's where my mind at. Try that, yeah, me, I threw my money down. And you know that it's good, we can skip the run around. And I don't need no yes, man, I'm all the way down. Yo, and I am not for sale, that's in case you couldn't tell, but y'all know better now. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. Real life better than the internet. Keep what you been selling, I ain't into that. We are doing business, this is simple math. I invest, you know I get it back, you believe that? Yeah. They asking what the fame like, tell them hang tight. Let me holler when the pay right. Put that on my damn life, you know I'm the man, right? Show them what the plan like, but y'all look slow, don't understand, right? Yeah. So tell me how you feel, baby, cause I've been working all the way up to a meal, baby. Yeah, man of the year, how I feel lately. You know the deal, baby, you know the drill. Yeah, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. You can set me free or give me death, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. Man, I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. And I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way. Said I'm on my way.
Hello and welcome back to the MASSP Rocket League Championship. I am Rome DMV, and joining alongside me today is the one, the only Bass from the Pass. Along with a special guest, we also have Bigfoot apparently somewhere in the venue lurking around. He's tripping over wires. He's making things shut off, but it's all good. We're going to be getting into the action very shortly.
I think we're just about to hop into the action immediately here. Game number 2 of this best of 7. We're going to restart from a full 5 minutes. It was 1-1 we exited last time, so might as well give them the full time on the clock to try and battle it out. Again, an important game here for DHS. Dakota High School take this one. They move on 2-0 in the series and keep the undefeated streak alive. But Rome, as we've been saying, these games have gotten closer and closer every single time.
Oh yes, it's feeling like a complete toss-up on who's going to win this series at this point. And now we get to see exactly how this little bit of a break affected these squads. You know, is one team going to come out firing? They've had about 30 minutes to talk with each other about the situation, about the strategies, about how the other team plays. And you can see already it's a lot slower pace. You see the defensive prowess coming out for both of these teams as neither one want to let anything come through. But as I say that, big boy Byra putting one in early for the Dakota Stewman.
That's a huge goal for the team here. Just kind of shaking off the rust. A little bit of a break can sometimes break that momentum for a team, but it does not happen here for DHS. Out the gates firing, finding themselves their first goal within the first minute here in game number 2. And again, we're not surprised to see this team with utmost confidence. They have not broken and bent at all throughout these playoffs, going undefeated up until now. But if any team's going to take a game away from them, it's got to be this Anchor Bay High School squad.
Oh yes, 110%. We got to see exactly if they're going to be able to answer back. We've seen already throughout this series, every single time there is a goal, there has been an answer. In every single reset that we've had, it's been 1-1 for a reason. And, you know, these teams are just showing that they are so even, so I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we see this Anchor Bay squad be able to answer back with a goal. Right now, they're struggling to be able to find something on this offensive end, so got to give props to this Dakota squad for being able to keep this defense strong.
They're keeping the defense strong for now, but we've still got 3.5 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for either one of these squads to find some momentum and possibly find a goal right there. Looking for their second is Dakota High School, and they're mounting up a pretty solid defense here. They've got their opponents on the ropes. Can Sif do anything with this ball? Sends it into the backboard and bumps Win out of the way. Will there be a follow-up? No one's going to dive on in. Eventually, Koss does, but Sif bunts his teammate on the backboard, so unfortunately, it's a little bit of an end to the offense here, but they're going to move back in again. Byra shot on target. And you got to wonder what's happening right now for Anchor Bay, getting really passive and opening up a lot of space for this Dakota High School squad.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can see it starts to feel like Dakota is feeling their game out. They're starting to, like, they're coming into their own, if you will, in this match. We know that they're the #1 seed and have not dropped a game in this tournament so far for a reason, and they still have it. You know, this squad, even though they've tied it up 1-1 a couple times, they even went up 1-0 against this Dakota squad. Dakota answered back, and rightfully so. They've done absolutely incredible, so I'm sure that right now they're just going to keep on trying to build on the momentum that they're starting to acquire right now.
Both teams starting to acquire some momentum, but unfortunately, we've hit a stalemate for the last about minute and a half here. Both squads getting some opportunities, but neither one of them finding the back of the net yet. With 2 minutes remaining, the next goal could be the decider here. Can we see an equalizer from Anchor Bay, or are we going to see the dagger from DHS here? They're looking for exactly that, but can they plunge the knife? Not quite able to. And with 2 minutes remaining, again, at one goal could be the separating factor, Rome.
Yeah, and right there, you saw Anchor Bay on the offensive end. Finally, they almost had a nice setup, but just weren't able to get any real force behind the ball, so it was pretty easy to defend for this squad in Dakota. So, hey, listen, if you're going to be able to put an offensive push together, you got to be able to make it count. And, you know, that's the one thing that I said is that, guess what? This Dakota squad, they've been scoring early and often, and there's really not anything that this Anchor squad has done on the defensive side to really put a stop to it. So they've got to stop this Dakota squad from answering, because right now, Dakota's defense is looking like all they need, but Win today, he tried to make it an equalizer, but no, that's not going to be the case, man, oh man.
That defense you highlighted showing up once again. Dakota holding on to this 1-goal lead as we approach the last minute of this ball game. And again, if Dakota take this one, they move on 2-0 in this series. And that's a huge 2-0 because all they need is one more game and they move on to series point. But we're not quite there yet. ABH trying to get themselves a goal, trying to find an equalizer and force an overtime. And it could be this. Too nasty. Oh! Shot off target, but can they keep it there? Ducky should be there for the follow-up, but the shot is off target. Not quite able to get a solid touch, and unfortunately for ABHS, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board for the final 30 seconds.
Oh my goodness, Anchor Bay was so close to tying it up right there. You can see they needed that one because there is only 30 seconds remaining. We know how difficult it has been throughout this game to get a nice shot on goal, and that right there was a beautiful opportunity. Not able to get it on the initial put in or the rebound. Just so unfortunate for this Anchor Bay squad, and now starting to come back on this offensive end is the Dakota squad, and they're just going to keep this one in play. Want to put this one on the ground in this game soundly and surely. They're just going to need to put this one on the ground, but here we go. Another offensive situation. Is it going to be fortuitous? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, but this one's staying up. All of a sudden, Anchor Bay actually have a chance to go the other way with this.
Oh!
Ducky not quite able to make the connection they were looking for, though. And unfortunately, it's going to be all over there. ABHS trying their best to equalize and force an overtime, but instead, Dakota High School move on 2-0 in the series. Rome, it wasn't as overwhelming of a game as we might have expected, but a win is a win, and that's a pretty big one there for the Dakota Stewmen.
Oh yeah, big time, going up 2-0 in the series, but you saw there how close that was. If Ducky would have hit that, that probably would have been a goal right there. There was nobody there to block it, so I think that that is just showing how close these games actually are between these two squads, man. Almost seeing an overtime at the last second, man. We've seen some pretty crazy overtime goals together, so I wouldn't have been surprised to see one there. So close.
So incredibly close, but the question is, does that lead to a pull away here from DHS? That's their second game in a row, especially considering that they kept the momentum after going to multiple breaks. I gotta hope that they can get this momentum in their favor, but I also gotta hope that ABHS get back into this one. Anchor Bay looking solid, but again, not able to find a single goal in 5 minutes of play, but they will find one here. Not even a minute into the ball game, and Anchor Bay will strike.
Yeah, and this is just a beautiful play, honestly. This is Too Nasty doing it all by his lonesome. He put that offensive pressure up, and that was honestly a bad deflection by the defense. Gave it right back to him where he could redirect it whichever way he wanted. Easy goal coming in for Too Nasty, letting them know, listen, AB is here to play.
AB is indeed here to play, and they might be here to get a second goal as well, denied by the defense. But I like this. The aggression out the gates means we're going to still have another back and forth ball game, but there's no guarantees that Anchor Bay come out on top, especially when the response is already here. DHS looking for their first goal here in game number 3. That's a great pass. Byra trying to connect with one of the teammates, but no one is there for the follow-up. They're just looking out at midfield, waiting to try and build some presence, and I think they'll do exactly that. Cost with time and space out of midfield can only get a 50-50, but again, it seems like DHS are playing this one patiently. They understand that there's a full 5 minutes of gameplay, and they don't need to rush an equalizer quite yet. They have got at least 4 minutes left on the clock, but they also have an own goal here? Where on earth happened?
Oh man, this is just so unfortunate. Too Nasty. Let's see exactly what happened. Oh man, that is just unfortunate. I don't think that defender knew that Nasty was going to be sending it directly to his car. That was just honestly unfortunate. So I don't know if that's props to Too Nasty for the nasty redirect off the defender's car, but I'll take it. That's a 2-0 lead for Too Nasty. Oh my goodness, almost able to make it a 3-0 goal. Barely going to be missing that. That could have been absolutely a dagger in the heart of this Dakota Stewman squad.
Oh, that would have been massive, but unfortunately it does not arrive here, and DHS are going to have to go back to the drawing board as they retry yet another offense, but instead it's actually going to be ABHS who get one for themselves. Anchor Bay doing a good job at not allowing their opponents to find a quick cut in half of the lead. They might have to try and battle it out for a little bit longer, or I guess not. Win Today actually going to find some open space, tries to get a shot on target, but instead finds some contest from the defense here. But DHS starting to run out of time. 2 minutes gone without a single goal, and they need to find something and find it very quick here, Rome.
Oh yeah, big time, but we do know that just like a python, this squad, they can strike and they can slowly constrict you, slowly get back into this game with some easy, consistent Rocket League play that we know this team is capable of playing. So right now, it's just going to be all about finding that initial goal. And as I say that, Sif, gonna be able to find the first one in this slow comeback. That's what I said. They can get back into this game. They don't need to rush it, just play their game, and that's exactly what they're able to do. Sif finding a nice one.
And there's that duo that we know and love, Sif and Kaz, going back and forth as they usually do. The question is, though, is can they find another one here? Because they are still down by 1. Dakota High School doing a good job at showing their resilience, but they need to for another 2.5 minutes. Halfway through game number 3, and again, this is an important one for Dakota High School. If they win this, they move on a series point, and that would be massive for the squad, giving them a huge buffer room. Because at that point, ABHS need to reverse sweep if they want to try and take this one. So let's see, can they avoid that scenario? Can they hold on to this lead for another 2 minutes? They might not even have to hold on to the lead. They might just extend it further. Offense building here for Anchor Bay. They need a shot on target. Win today, trying to do exactly that. He sets up one of his teammates, but no one is there for the follow-up. Ducky does get a shot, and it's into the back of the net. Patient play here pays off for Anchor Bay.
Oh my goodness, Ducky with the beautiful redirect. What an angle to barely squeeze that one past 2 defenders. Beautiful, beautiful play coming out of this Anchor Bay squad. That is a 3-1 advantage, and they're not going to be letting this Dakota squad come back into it. They're saying, listen, we're still going to be playing this offensive side as hard as we've been playing this entire series. We're going to be keeping that pressure on you. You see Too Nasty. He's going in for another one. Man, oh man, they are not stopping with this pressure, and I like it.
Now they have said, hey, 2 goals is great. Let's make it 3. Let's make it 4. They want to guarantee themselves this game and not allow their opponents on to match points. With 100 seconds left, there are no guarantees at this point. DHS starting to get an offense together, getting shots on target, but denied by the defense. Win today will keep it out, but only keep it out for now because here comes even more pressure. Ducky going to try to get in the way of this one, but all they can get is a 50-50. So Byra will try and send this one center. DHS eyeing up another goal, and if they can get one now, Rome, all they have to do is find one more, take it a goal at a time, and they might just be able to force it overtime.
Oh yeah, big time. And hey, listen, I can't say enough how even this game, this series is overall. There has been 4 goals scored on each side. If we include Reese, what a save! Out of 2, are you kidding me? That was way too nasty of a save. My goodness, man, shout out to him. Oh man, but I was gonna say, including the resets, it's been 6 on each side. It is just so even. You can see right now the defensive shell coming out of this Dakota squad. They're not letting anything come through. AB's not letting up on this offensive end. Kazga setting it up for the cross, not able to connect. Man, oh man, Ducky saving it yet again. Oh man, these plays are absolutely beautiful coming out of both of these squads. My goodness.
Anchor Bay just not letting anything get through that back wall. Hey, I know you guys are in high school, but you might need to look towards college because one of you guys needs to major in masonry the way you are building up that wall on defense. My, oh my, DHS throwing everything at their opponents, sledgehammers included, but just can't break through. 13 seconds left, and this one is all but wrapped up. ABHS will find their first win of this series, and they prevent their opponents moving on to series point. This was an important, necessary win for this Anchor Bay squad.
Oh yes, 110%. So hey, listen, props to the Anchor Bay squad, because guess what? You just took the first game off of the Dakota Stuman since October. Actually, since September. That was the last time they lost a game. So the fact that it has been 3 months of undefeated streaking with this squad not dropping a game, not a series, a game, ladies and gentlemen. You just took a game off of this squad, and in 3-1 fashion. Big props to the Anchor Bay squad for being able to hold it down.
Yeah, absolutely. The reality is that we said Anchor Bay, if anyone was going to give a good run for their money against the Stuman, it was going to be this Anchor Bay A1 squad. They're very capable, and they've now proven that by taking a game, but the question is, can they take another? Again, same scenario is still around. If ABHS do not take this game, that means that Dakota are going to move on to series point, meaning they need only a single game to take this championship, so they're going to fight with all their might to prevent that. ABHS looking to equalize, while DHS trying to find the first curtains of this ball game.
Man, and you see all 3 players right now are just turtled up in this goal. They're not letting anything from Dakota coming through. They are going to be putting this defensive stand to the max, honestly. And hey, let's see if Dakota is going to be able to break it. This offense, they have severely slowed down. All the momentum, in my opinion, is with Anchor Bay, even though they're down in the series 2-1. I gotta say, they are looking very solid right now. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Anchor Bay right now, they have every chance of winning this game number 3, even more of a chance in my opinion, simply because of how decisively that game number 3, was. Is this one gonna sneak in? Yes, it did. Just as I say that, Dakota gonna be able to put the first one on the board. That's just unfortunate, and that's the problem with triple committing. You see, he's just not able to get back in time. Win today. You gotta be able to understand the situation. That's just so unfortunate for Anchor Bay.
It's a little bit unfortunate, but it's also kind of the results of the way that they're playing right now. If you play this much defense, eventually you're going to have to try and transition into an offense, and when all 3 of the players in the team think that they need to be the one to do so, all of a sudden that defense that you've been so strong with before starts to break down. So Anchor Bay need to be careful here. It's very clear Dakota are not looking to press the issue often. They are not looking for overwhelming pressure. They're just looking for golden opportunities, and well, they found one here within the first half of this ballgame, and as a result have the 1-0 lead. But can they hold on to it? Here comes ABHS. Anchor Bay looking for their first goal of this ball game, and they just might be able to find it. Too Nasty sends this one to the ceiling and then into the backboard, but Bayer with a beautiful save will clear this one out for now.
Yeah, right now they're just volleying back and forth, jockeying for position. Right now, both of these squads doing such a great job, I gotta be honest, on this defensive side. It's really just gonna be about how you can set up these offensive pushes off of the defense to be able to break these one-man setups, because honestly, it seems like it's one player at the back just making the save, the last-second save for their team every single time. So it's really just gonna be about using that teamwork, using that coordination to be able to make a play happen. And another thing that I'm looking for is a player to really start to stand out. You know, that's what we really look for at this high school level, is who is going to be the superstar for their squad. And I'm looking for one of these players to start to have a decisive impact on this game, as Win today going to be dropping in the equalizer. Beautiful play. 1-1 game now as Anchor Bay ties it up.
It's kind of hard to find a highlight player when the games are such low-scoring affairs here. It's been so even, it's really hard to find that highlight considering how consistently both teams have played. And that's what makes this one all the more interesting, is it really has been such a test of both teams. They have shown the resilience, they have shown the utmost prowess, but the question is who's going to show their ability to win at the end of the day. Again, DHS might have the lead in the series, but if they lose this ballgame, that is all but erased. ABHS looking to equalize here, but with half the game remaining, it is anybody's ball game, and it could be a ball game going in favor of DHS right now. They got some decent offense building here, and as a result, Koss is going to send this one into the backboard. Too Nasty is there to deflect it out, but they don't get it that far, so as a result, Sip setting up his teammate shot, not on target, and there will be no follow-up. Koss is going to wait out at midfield, saw both of his teammates attack, so he did not want to commit as well, but DHS building up a very scary offense here.
Oh yeah, big time. You can see that defensive shell. It is holding strong, trying to make a play off of the defense right there. But hey, that one's going to be saved out, returned back to this Anchor Bay squad side. And I'm being, honestly, if I'm Anchor Bay, I'm fine with playing this defensively because their offense has been coming naturally to them. So we just got to see that keep on progressing and see which team is going to be able to break out and get this goal, because hey, there it's going to be as Kazga ends up making it happen. Dakota going up 2-1 in this game, and now they just need to play solid defense for about a minute.
Well, I appreciate that this is starting to give me an example of what I was about to speak about. I was going to say that defense is great, but the issue is that that defense relies on consistency. You have to be able to play underneath that pressure of your opponents for as long as necessary. A single break in the defense is exactly what DHS were looking for, and once they saw it, they did not hesitate. Shot on target gives them the lead here with just about 70 seconds remaining, and if they can hold on, they will take their third game, moving on to series point. But I can guarantee you that Anchor Bay are not going to go down lightly. They are throwing everything at their opponents, kitchen sink included, but they need something to stick. Could it be this? Ducky tries to get a shot, but Sif gets in the way.
Yeah, Sif with a great defensive play, because that one was all but going in the back of the net pretty much for sure. It would have taken a real blunder to miss that one, but hey, listen. Oh my goodness, man, big boy Byron not able to drop it in below the crossbar right there. I gotta say, man, these players are within inches of finding the back of the net, so such a close game. 35 seconds left. Is Anchor Bay going to be able to find the equalizer to tie this one up? I'm not sure it's gonna happen the way that this Dakota squad is playing right now.
They're making it rather difficult. Dakota getting in the way of everything thrown at them and getting some flip resets out of midfield as well. Cause tries to take advantage of that with a shot on target, but unfortunately the defense is there. That means the light at the end of the tunnel will remain. ABHS looking to equalize here, forcing overtime, but Cause is going to send this downfield and send them packing into their own half. A restart here necessary for Anchor Bay if they want to keep it going, but Byra will deny it. Ducky sends it out to the side, but when this one hits the ground, it is all but over. Dakota taking their third game of the series, and that means it is series point now for Dakota High School.
Oh yeah, and listen, Anchor Bay, they find themselves in a very similar situation because, hey, listen, last time that they played this team, they lost 3-1 in the series, and right now this series is 3-1 with the advantage going to the Dakota Stewmen. So listen, if you're here, you've been in this situation before, you know how this team plays, you know how to beat them. Now you got to do it 3 times in a row with all the chips on the table. It's now or never for this Anchor Bay squad. They've got to do it.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate because it really is backs against the wall. This is by far the toughest scenario you could be in. Well, I guess second toughest. Technically, it could be 3-0, and then they'd have to get a perfect reverse sweep to try and take this one back. But at 3-1, there is still a possibility here. I have seen comebacks in this fashion before. Even if they are rare, even if they are difficult, if any squad's going to get it done, it's going to be this Anchor Bay squad, giving the first loss to Dakota High School in months of play. So you got to imagine that the confidence is riding high, but let's see if that confidence is enough. Game number 5 underway here, and unfortunately it's not going to go in favor of Anchor Bay out the gates. Dakota strike first.
Yeah, Kozga keeping that pressure on, and he's just bullying these two players. He's saying nobody's blocking this one, giving them the little heart for the celebration. You love to see it, man. The celebrations, I love the goal celebrations in this game for sure. It's nice to see what the players decide to toss on there for their own personal favorites for sure.
Oh, I love goal. Goal explosions in this game really are one of my favorite things. A lot of players will talk about, hey, Stocktane all the way, just the stock Octane and nothing else. But you know what they do customize? Those goal explosions right there. And the Cowboy one popping out for Byra. 2-0 in favor of Dakota.
Yeah, and the triple commit for Anchor Bay, it came back to bite them immediately. That is just extremely unfortunate. But hey, if you're the side of Dakota, listen, you have not lost a game coming into this series. You just lost your first one. You're fine with taking a 4-1 championship match. Even though you didn't get the perfect run, you're still going to be fine with that. So I'm sure right now with a 2-0 lead, they're just, never mind. I'm going to say they're going to be fine with sitting back, playing relaxed and playing that defensive shell defense that we see so many times out of teams in this situation. But no, they're going to keep that offensive pressure up. They're saying, look, if you can't stop us, we're not going to stop shooting.
Oh my, oh my. Usually we're used to the duo of Sif and Kozga, the ones going back and forth trading goals and assists. This time it's Byra and Kozga, the two of them. Oh my word, I was gonna say, just getting goal after goal, but finally there's an interruption. Ducky with the tightest angle out of the corner I've ever seen.
Yeah, oh my goodness, barely squeezed that one in. Oh man, that would leave my geometry teacher's head scratching for sure. That one was extremely tight, man. My goodness, man, the skill level out of these players to be able to do these plays is absolutely incredible. But that's exactly what we're talking about. You get a little bit too confident, you go for these plays, and then you leave your net open. Oh my goodness, so many amazing opportunities. Too nasty, almost able to find another one. If that one would have squeezed through, I know for a fact this Dakota squad would definitely be kicking themselves.
I have to imagine that one squeezed through. That's probably going to be the end of the overwhelming confidence and momentum we're seeing here. DHS definitely have momentum in their favor, but that can be erased in the blink of an eye. One good goal in favor is the ABHS squad, and all of a sudden they're going to go back to the drawing board as it's a 1-goal difference. And it could be right here. Ducky with time and space in center, but not able to make contact. And as Too Nasty is bumped, that's probably the end of the offense. Win Today instead has to make a save on the other end and does exactly that. But again, this is how DHS like to play. Quick transition, get the pressure started, and then never really let it release out at midfield.
Oh yes, 100%. Now we got 3 minutes left on this one. 3 minutes left until this Dakota squad can say that they are the champions for the state of Michigan. It can't be stated enough. 62 teams battling it out across the state. It is absolutely incredible to see these top 2 teams be able to make it this far, and for potentially Dakota to be able to come out victorious over all of them. Man, oh man, what a close opportunity for Ducky. Not able to put it in. You gotta say right now, this Anchor squad, they are fighting back with everything that they have to get back into this one.
Again, there's a reason why we bet on Anchor to be the squad to take down this DHS side. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Anchor Bay. They have looked fantastic, but unfortunately, they've only got a half a game remaining to try and show that. And not only do they need 2 goals, they now need a third. Kozga with possibly the dagger here in game number 5.
Kozga add an insult to injury for sure. He is feeling good, letting these players know, listen, man, win today. You're not winning today. It's just that simple. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next season. But listen, that championship, we're going to be securing it up 4-1. They are feeling extremely good right now. And hey, listen, Ducky rework. Taking that feeling right away is, hey, listen, you can't be feeling good if you get an answer within 5 seconds of the kickoff.
Hey, listen, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel, like we've been saying. Could this be the catalyst for this comeback? With 2 minutes remaining, we've got almost half a bowl game for Anchor Bay to get back into this one. And again, there's a reason we're hinging our bets on this squad. They are not only the first team to take down this squad in multiple months, they're the first team to really give them a run for their money. Third goal now comes in for win today, and Anchor Bay went away from equalizing.
Now, wait a second. That's 2 goals within 20 seconds. This thing all of a sudden went from me talking about Dakota celebrating to me saying, Dakota, you got to step it up. Get back in this thing. There's still 2 minutes left. We got ourselves a 1-point game. This went from being all Dakota to absolutely anyone's game. And hey, that's exactly what you love to see. A little bit of a try for a flip reset out of Vira. Wasn't able to make it work out. And man, oh man, I got to say, I'm super excited right now.
I'm loving everything we're seeing here on the pitch, but I can tell you one person, or I guess 3 who are not. DHS probably feeling the pressure now after a 4-1 lead erased basically at 4-3. A single goal separates these 2 teams, and for Dakota High School, who are eyeing up a championship right now, they understand the amount of pressure, and they understand what they have to do. Saves on the net will be necessary from players like Kozga, but can they find some more? A booming clear will alleviate some pressure, but can they turn it into an offense and stop ABHS from the unrelenting pressure they have found?
Oh yeah, and you can see they're putting that pressure on back again. Gonna be crossing. Oh my goodness. Not able to connect. Man, oh man, are they gonna be able to make something happen here? No. Gonna be cleared out. Oh my goodness, man. This is an absolute onslaught on the side of AB. The fact that DHS have been able to withstand it is absolutely incredible. They now have a minute remaining. Can they withstand this onslaught coming out of Anchor Bay? Will Anchor Bay be able to find that equalizer and tie things up and send us to an overtime? No! Kozga saying, listen, Anchor Bay, you guys, you thought you were going to win today. We let it be close. We let you have hope, but we're going to be taking that hope right on back. Kozga, beautiful goal. They're taking a 2-goal advantage going into the final 45 seconds.
Kozga with the hat trick and possibly the dagger. Curtains starting to fall here, but if there's anybody who's going to be able to put them back up, it's going to be Anchor Bay. They are trying their best to find 2 goals here within 40 seconds. They found goals in quick succession before, but usually it was off a kickoff. So as they have not scored off a kickoff, now they've got to earn it a different way. Half a minute remaining here, and if Anchor Bay don't find 2, that is the end of the series, and Dakota High School will be your MASSP champions.
Yes, they're going to have to repeat that performance from a couple of minutes ago because there's only 20 seconds left. Kozga's still putting that offensive pressure on, and Sif going to be able to follow it up. That's going to be the cherry on top, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be all she wrote. It is all but over. Dakota essentially have just locked themselves up as the champions.
You gotta love it in the way that they do so, sharing the love across the team. Final stat line in case, well, before anybody scores here in the next 16 seconds. Byra with 2 goals, 2 assists. Sif with a goal and an assist. And Kozga, excuse me, 3 goals, 2 assists. Every single player picking up at least a goal and an assist apiece. Everyone getting involved, and that is what led to Dakota High School taking this championship. Ball hits the ground, and in 5 games, Dakota High School are your MASSP Rocket League champions.
Oh yes, big congratulations to them. Well-deserving and all-around incredible performance on the offense, on the defense. They showed the resiliency, even from game 1, coming back from being down 1-0. You know, listen, I gotta say, props to this Dakota squad. They deserve everything coming their way in the future.
Oh, absolutely. And well, if you'd like to see what the past was before we talk about the future here, one more time, let's look at this bracket. Dakota Stuman having a heck of a journey to get here to the top of this mountain, taking out GLLA Varsity, Hudsonville Eagles, and now Anchor Bay A1. Everybody gave a good run, but not everybody can come out on top. The winner at the end of the day are the Dakota Stuman. Congratulations once again to Dakota High School on being your MASSP champions.
Man, big props to them. Big shout out to PlayVS for putting everything on today. It's been an absolutely incredible show. So many amazing, talented players that we got to witness today. So many players that we're going to probably see go on to that collegiate level and so on with their careers. I couldn't be happier. Today was absolutely incredible. I enjoyed casting with you today. I gotta say, I love Rocket League, man.
Oh, it's just the best. It's the best sport. I love esports, and man, I love Rocket League as well. And we love you guys at home for tuning in here today and showing us all the support. Thank you guys for tuning out and coming out for this one. We really do appreciate it, and we also do appreciate the guys who make this possible. Again, shout out to PlayVS, shout out to Robbie and the rest of our production behind the scenes, everybody who is involved. A huge list of names there, but just know we appreciate every single one of you for letting us, our lovely faces, hop on screen here today. And speaking of lovely faces, Rome, thank you for casting with me alongside here today. It was an absolute pleasure, and well, unfortunately, the pleasure has came to an end. Again, thank you guys for tuning in here today for the MASSP Rocket League Championship, but that is all that we have got. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We will see you next time. Have a good one.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chatting the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man's so tough, but man's keep walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch man, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. Yeah, I hear him chatting the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man's so tough, but man's keep walking. Yeah, just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch man, please use caution. Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the. Big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats. When the whole place scream, gotta get out the. Yeah, I hear him chatting the noise.